Artificial connection TV sets are turned on. Sunday breaking news. This is Aspen Woods reporting for HVVM channel, your channel. Although this year's drought has been increased by the global climate change, authorities found the cause for this year's wildfire in California. Experts concluded it was detonated by a match. Believe it or not, after many laborious hours of investigation, specialists from the California Fire Department claimed to follow a firing track, as they called it, to an area by the roadside, where they found the remains of a match, probably from a smoker who drove through the area. Monday breaking news. This is Aspen Woods reporting for HVVM channel, your channel. A woman was found dead in her luxurious apartment in Beverly Hills, LA. The LA Police Department believes she was murdered by her girlfriend who ran away from the crime scene. Police officers found the crime weapon, a wooden baseball bat, full of the girlfriend's fingerprints and blood. They suspect the victim had changed her life insurance beneficiary, from her mother's into her girlfriend's information. Tuesday breaking news. This is Aspen Woods reporting for HVVM channel, your channel. At this round wooden table, you can see, the three top arms producing companies' CEOs just signed the contract to produce any type of weapons our armed forces may require, from a simple gun to mass destruction weapons. Wednesday breaking news. This is Aspen Woods reporting for HVVM channel, your channel. Neighbors of Sun Valley's friendly community are shocked by the accident a retired language teacher suffered. Witnesses said this beloved teacher fell from a wooden ladder while he was repairing the roof of his house. Unfortunately, the educator broke his neck. Thus, when the ambulance EMTs and firefighters arrived, nothing could be done. Neighbors explained the retired teacher was known as a model citizen who was always helping everyone in this community, and his good deeds won over their hearts. Thursday breaking news. This is Aspen Woods reporting for HVVM channel, your channel. As you can see, the ambulance EMTs are taking the body of Mr. Eladio Miller, who drastically ended his own life. Police officers asseverated the incident was a suicide due to the fact they found an extremely emotional suicide note inside an old wooden chest box on his studio desk. The note explained all the hard times Mr. Miller had lived and suffered recently. A real series of unfortunate events. He lost everything that matters in a person's life. His mother, who died of cancer, his wife, who was killed in a traffic accident by a drunk driver while she was jogging. Both incidents affected, deeply, Mr. Miller's ability to work, so he was fired, and, having no incomes to pay the mortgage, he also lost his house. A written notice to vacate was given to him. And that was the straw that broke the camel's back. Friday breaking news. This is Aspen Woods reporting for HVVM channel, your channel. 4 children were found inside of what appears to be a wooden cage. A neighbor, who wishes to keep his identity a secret, called 911 to report the case that took place in the backyard of a quiet old house in Playa del Rey. The youngsters seemed to be malnourished. Authorities also suspect the kids were being mistreated since they found some bruising from blows to the body and head. Now, detectives are trying to clarify the reasons why these children were captive, and, if there is a criminal organization involved. Saturday breaking news. This is Aspen Woods reporting for HVVM channel, your channel. A mother and her baby were living in a wooden box in O'Melveny Park. This young woman was a single mother who left home because her parents wanted her to give her child up for adoption. The young mother explained she belongs to a wealthy and influential family. However, she was determined to have and raise her healthy baby. For the last week, the single mother was eating whatever was around, as she said, to be strong enough to feed her baby. The woman and the child were found by somewhere in a tropical country a couple of months ago. Breaking news. Indigenous people, Greenpeace activists, and many other Mother Nature lovers are protesting in our capital city against what they consider to be the biggest crime ever. The demonstrators claim the government is allowing multinational companies to cut down all trees in protected areas. The last indiscriminate tree cutting took place in an indigenous reservation. The same large section of the reservation was destroyed 30 years ago by a foreign company. Those enemies of the planet only left a giant tree standing on that occasion. Consequently, the ancient tree became a symbol for the tribe and the rest of the indigenous citizens, activists, and country. New trees were born in the devastated area and, after 30 years, the secondary forest recovered its majestic appearance. Nevertheless, certain humans never could.
Friendship, the true treasure of life. This is a story, of course. What else would it be? The difference between this story and all the others, is that this one is unique. It is not just any story. This story is one of a special friendship. One of sacrifice. One of love, and it starts with two special people who became friends, and over time, they became the best of friends. When one was sad, the other would cheer them up in no time. When one needed help, the other was there for them to lean on. Always. Their friendship was so special to them and it made sense. They completed each other and they were perfect for one another. Who wouldn't treasure such a valuable friendship? Ever since they became best friends in high school, every year, they celebrate their friendship by going out together on a trip to their favorite place in the whole world, the lake. You may think that a lake is nowhere special, but to them, it was the most beautiful place they could go to. Normally, they go with a parent or two because they were too young to drive. But once they were old enough to drive on their own and their parents allowed them to do it, they would drive up to the lake that they held close to their hearts and camp for a day. Today was no different. They drove up to the lake early in the morning, as they have been doing every year, so they could catch the sunrise and set up the tent using flashlights and the bonfire. All the sleeping bags were placed on the ground, next to each other so they could tell jokes and keep each other awake. And the food was placed in the corner of the tent. Now for the first major part of the trip, sunrise. Once the sun began to rise, they would sit on the shore of the lake, and take in the sunset in all of its golden glory and warmth. They always say that there is nothing quite like it. Watching the sunrise made them grateful to have each other. Right when the sun rose above the horizon, they would make a promise to each other. Today is a new year, so let's hold each other dear. Stay close and stay strong. For this friendship will be long. Filled with joy and tears, we rise as peers. I am grateful to have you in my life, and thank you for a friendship worth sacrifice. After they have said this together, they say their top 5 favorite moments of the year they had together and they camp for the day and night. There are challenges involved, like who can make a bow and arrow the best, who can light a fire the quickest, and so many more creative things that make them bond. They would carve a wooden trophy so they could always keep something from this trip home. Then at the end of the day, when they are tired out and have done all the activities that they could think of, they sit on the shore of the lake and watch the moon's reflection on the water and the constellations in the sky. They lie on the ground and name whatever ones they can. Sometimes they even see shooting stars and they both make the same wish, to be best friends forever and ever. For them to stay strong and dear to one another. Every year they come back. Again and again. They come no matter what. Even when they got married, they came. Even when they had children, they came. Even when they have suffered a loss, they came. And they always went together and they would do it all again, setting up camp, watching the sunrise, the promise they make to each other, the activities and challenges that they came up with. Even when they have grown old, they would still come. Not to do the activities because surely their backs would give up on them, but to spend a morning and night with a special friend. A best friend. More years pass by and the old age finally gets to one of them. They lived a long, joyous life, and they lived it well. On her deathbed, she tells her friend, "Stay strong. We've lived our lives to the fullest. You have been with me from start to finish and I would have it no other way. Don't stop going there, eh? Today is a new year, so let's hold each other dear. Stay close and stay strong, for this friendship will be long. Filled with joy and tears, we rise as peers. I am grateful to have you in my life, and thank you for a friendship worth sacrifice." Though she thought she would never be able to bring herself back, the remaining friend went to the lake. Her granddaughter drove her up here. The friend got out of the car and the sun began to set. Perfect. One last time. For her, she lay down her favorite plant, a dandelion, fierce like her, and she sat down on the shore of the lake once more. Tears streamed down her cheeks as she remembered all the good times they had together. When she finally looked up, the moon was in the sky and the shooting stars were soaring across the sky. From one friend to another. A friendship so strong, not even death could tear them apart. She stared at the reflection of the moon on the water and smiled to herself. What a crazy life they had lived.